So here's a very special episode dedicated especially to John's memory. My oldest brother Dean and I took off from Roswell, America, and headed west to the town of our childhood. On the road there that went from 4 lanes to 2 lanes as we headed to Carrizozo. My brother was the only one of us that graduated from Carrizozo High, but all 3 of us went to a Carrizozo school. And one of the things that's really special about that town is the whole valley where it is surrounded by mountains. That big turtle-backed mountain was visible everywhere in town. And though the wind always blew there, it blew different directions in different seasons. So it had the mixed feeling of being both a very protected place and windswept and clean. This nice house is now across the street from a house that I thought was the best in town when I was little, the English's house, which was brick, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it had a den. Their house was the only house I knew that had a den. And it wasn't big, but it was lovely. Our house was just diagonally across the block from their house. It was adobe. It was 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. Daddy worked on it to make it that. And they've kept it up. It's got a metal roof and they've replaced the windows. But even the old adobe garage is still standing, and I guess they're using it as a kind of a B&B, which amazes me, or maybe not, maybe it's just a shop. Daddy built the entrance to the First Baptist Church, and they've maintained that. It's a very distinct feature. There's no other building in town that has quite that kind of entrance. And they've kept the plaster up on it, and they've kept the building up. It's nice. We headed over to where the high school used to be and got the shock of a lifetime when we came to a huge construction site. So we drove around, we headed around to the back to where the football field used to be and discovered that the entire physical plant is being replaced. The old schools are being replaced with an entirely new school, which is surprising because the Grizzlies, well, there just aren't that many anymore. They just play 6-man football. The football field is called Lob Field. Dean's quote was, well, that sours me on it. Coach Lobbs was his football coach, and I think he harbors unpleasant feelings about those olden days when the building had a Neo-Pueblo appearance to it. Quite lovely, actually, plaster with those brick-lined roofs. So we headed in to see if we could get a tour or walk around at least, and they opened up. The last time Dean had been there, he was an A-string basketball player, number 30. But now it's a little bit different. They're preparing to move into this big new physical plant, so things look a little bit run down, but the library is still the library. It still smells like books, although it's been significantly elementified. There weren't any classes at the time. The secretary kindly offered us to show us around the building. We told her our dad worked there for years, and he did, but of course nobody knows his name anymore. It's been so many years now. The cafeteria is still where the old cafeteria was, and Dean asked, do they still serve Frito pie? He hates Frito pie. I love Frito pie. I don't know what his problem is. Everything in Carrizozo leans a little bit one way or another. So when we were done with the tour, we headed out to near the Four Winds intersection. You could still see the old turtle back of that mountain. We went to Mabel B's, a local favorite diner, which has this talismanic New Mexico Zia symbol, I think intended to ward off would-be Texas interlopers. We went in and had a lunch. I had flautas and Dean had soft tacos. They were excellent, but what was really good was they had wonderful pinto beans on the plate, and they were perfectly done. It was a really generous lunch, and the flautas were well prepared. We headed out. The sky was full of mixes of both summer and winter clouds. We stopped in Hondo to stretch our legs and take a look around and consider how wonderful it was to be able to see the old place, and how wonderful it was to know we have a new place to go to. I recommend the Sentimental Journey. If you can, take a visit to the old place for you and see what it does for you. Hope you see me soon, you gorgeous people.